What's up, everyone? Who has 2 thumbs and is nearly done with the longest running series so far on the Ryman channel? This guy, Ryan, aka the Ryman. I thought we've all met. Hi. I didn't plan any of that through. I thought to myself, you wanna know what would be different, but not really different? You wanna know what would be stupid? A random Scrubs reference. I think literally only one person out there, whoever gets this far in the series, would probably appreciate that. That's for you, my friend. Let's continue. The last time we were here, we were about to go on a wonderful rooftop picnic with Shizune. We're nearing the end. Really just makes you want to, like, take a step back and breathe it all in. But at the same time, for all I know, there could be like 8 hours of a novel left for just Act 4. I don't know. I never know. But it's probably better that way. Let's do what we tried to do last time, but failed miserably, and maximum overdrive this. Not long afterwards, we find ourselves on the school roof. I mean, I'm not surprised. I think for once, if I go through another visual novel that involves a school, I'm just... If a lot of, like, tender moments take place underground in the school's boiler room, that'd be a decent change of pace. Because everything's on the roof. Is it normally deserted at this time? On a nice day like this? On the weekend? No, of course not. I can only think that it's because of Shizune. Not that clearing out a roof would require anything more than posting a sign on the door. The empty plastic container Shizune's had packed our meal in lie next to me. It was another quiet meal, since holding chopsticks prevents us from saying much to each other. Well, it's not blowing hard enough to be a problem. The wind is a little strong today. It blows the plastic bag loose from under the empty containers. So it rips. In my mental lapse, I turn into a record player, going whip. So it whips around for a bit before rolling over my legs and getting caught on the tip of Shizune's shoe. You want to know where you wouldn't be coming across this problem? Down underground in the school's boiler room. Immediately she grabs it and starts signing, not looking happy that I'm laughing at her, even though she's trying to not let out a laugh herself. With a bag in the way, however, she has to eventually sit on it to continue. Very funny. How was it? The food? It tasted familiar. That means it was bad? No. I remember eating this exact meal before, when you made it. Not exactly the same. The fried shrimp was new. It's the only thing I know how to make, but I should have improved. How many times have you made it before? This is the second time. I want to say, then of course it's probably not going to be that much different, but it is Shizune. Where if it is not 100% knocked out of the ballpark grand slam at the bottom of the ninth, that you might as well have never fucking tried. Making this particular meal? Cooking. Oh, just cooking in general! Okay! Next time, it's your turn to try. The way she keeps tugging on the corner of the bag is bothering me. I think I know why she's doing it. Is it really bugging you that much? I want to pack them up properly. It's okay, I'll get them. As I'm picking them up, I realize she must have brought a lot of food to be able to fill all these containers. I didn't even eat much. Suzanne must have some metabolism in order to pack all that away. Then marry that. If she's able to eat like half a rooftop's full of food and stay like this, marry it. And I'm dead. Even though I've only been up for a second, it's long enough to stupidly trip over my own feet. Barely managing to break my fall, I end up landing on my elbows and knees right next to Shizune's lap. Okay, that's when we die. As I pull myself back up, hand gingerly held on my chest, all I can think about is how my knees hurt, and how this fall could have killed me. I feel nauseous. That sounds pathetic, but folks at home, you have to remember with my boy Hisao here, he has arrhythmia. Or just arrhythmia if you don't want to sound like a retard like I do all the time. Heart complications. I don't know why I'm explaining this to you now. If you're literally jumping in on this series at what is essentially the tail end of the series, you have a weird way of going through shows. How did you go through Game of Thrones? Probably better, because then if you went through that ass backwards, you wouldn't be heartbroken. Or maybe you would. You would have stopped at the season you watched, and that... There was a gnat in front of me. That's not how you would have gone. I mean, that's how you would have gone if you actually did that, but I forget what I'm talking about now. Shizune gives a helpful push on my shoulder to help me upright, though I notice her eyeing me oddly. Unfortunately, even a light shove is enough to take me by surprise. Are you okay? No! How often have we talked about my heart problems? I nod, but we don't return to sitting beside each other. Naturally, being alone with Shizune is going to involve a lot of silence, but I only start to notice it now. The typical sign of awkwardness. Again, she's the one to break the ice. With a snap? No. I was expecting you to try something dirty. I mean, you're smiling. Would you have objected? I've never done it on a rooftop. In the gravel. I'm sure one or two of my friends have. And now the mood is back to awkward. Really? You couldn't... You're too reserved, boy. You gotta snap back. How's Misha? That is not how I would have followed up on my girlfriend being coy and going, ooh, you trying something dirty on me? Hey, how's your best friend? Irish, reach into this universe and smack my boy upside the back of his skull for me, please. Thank you. Misha seems happier now, back to her old self. I thought this would be a good way to celebrate, and to thank you for helping her. Her hand stumbles for a bit on the last word. You think too much like a businesswoman. I can't help it. It's how I've been taught to do things. It makes me happy that you're asking about Misha. Be more accurate to say back to her real self. She would only be back to her old self to you. The Misha you know is completely different from the one I think of. When I think of the first time we met, even though I think she looks better or cheerful and smiling, that isn't how she typically is. I wonder if it's true for you too. I don't answer. Am I recording? I nearly had my own heart complications, 9 minutes recording in, and if I found out then I wasn't. Well, if Misha is happy, then it doesn't matter. If it worked out in the end, your plan worked. You knew her just as well as you said. You knew everything she would say. If your idea was just that I'd speak for you, doesn't that make me your puppet? I didn't do anything then. Not true. It was your idea first. I was wrong. I have a way of seeing things that is very flawed. Now that I've thought about it, I'm sure you know. Sometimes, I treat everything like a competition between myself and everyone else, even when it doesn't make sense to. Sometimes! I know very well how easy it is to ignore someone if they can only communicate with you through sign. I should have asked for help, but I was so sure I could do it on my own. It was actually a brave thing you did, even if you won't take credit for it. Aside from that, what am I smelling in the background? Someone's either cooking something or I'm having a stroke. I'm hoping I'm having a stroke. It would at least then give me an excuse for the retarded way I read. Aside from that, you really become kind of admirable lately. It's strange having her compliment me while her facial expression hasn't changed in the slightest. But people don't change so easily, according to you, am I right? She winks, clearly enjoying herself, clearing herself very much. You know, if there's a girl in here with only one eye, going around with an eye patch, I don't know if I could trust her. Because then you wouldn't know if she's winking or blinking at you. There's a lot of trust issues with that. Does anyone else think that way when they come across someone with one eye? I'm only thinking of that because she said wink. Does Misha tell you everything? Almost everything. I guess you're going to tell me that I'm wrong about that, aren't you? Yes and no. I'm the one who told Misha that before anyone else, but she took it too far and changed the meaning. It's not easy, but she acts like that makes it impossible. It's possible, if you go little by little. I'm considering trying to be less competitive. I thought you enjoyed that, though. Maybe just a little. That's why I specifically used less. She leans against the fence. I have things I want to say to her, but it doesn't seem like the right time for it, somehow. It's a feeling I have. I can tell she isn't just done yet. A lot of people think I try too hard. Well, I've always thought that I tried just enough. The sound the fence makes as she pushes against it, and the delicate clink of her sleeve buttons scraping against the links, are oddly soothing, probably ASMR worthy. So is the breeze gently picking up behind me. I hear people below us. Shizune's eyes dart below us as well, and I wonder if she still thinks about what she might be missing out on. Trust me, as a man who hears, you are not missing out on a goddamn thing in this world. The attention-grabbing way she tends to snap her fingers proves that she isn't understanding how other people perceive sound. It must be odd, being able to understand that much, but unable to experience it yourself. She starts walking slowly around the perimeter of the roof, still scraping her buttons against the fence. It isn't rhythmic at all, though not for lack of trying. I sort of zone out in thought while she does, and rudely snapped out of it when she circles around completely and taps me on the shoulder. Do you remember what we were talking about? Ma'am, I don't remember what I had for lunch, let alone what I was literally just talking about with you. When? Now? Of course! It just happened! It's been almost 10 minutes. When I first saw you, you seemed like you were very attached to the idea of feeling sorry for yourself. Well, that stings, even if it's true. Sorry. It made me want to cheer you up at first sight. I was scared it would be for nothing, though. I couldn't help thinking it would be hard to change your mind. Now, shoot, now I kind of legitimately feel bad for every other season. In the sense of, like, Shizune has grown a lot on me through this season, I'll admit. And to an extent, even Misha. So, thinking back on the other seasons now, I feel bad for trying to purposely choose options that had me run away, because if she had the goal instantly pop on her mind when she saw my sourpuss to cheer me up, and I just flat out ran, in a sense, that kind of makes me a dick. Huh. But you did. I thought that was very surprising, and also that you might be kind of easily influenced. Still, I was surprised. It made me reconsider a lot of things. Like, that maybe everything was worth it in the end. Everything? That's why I like you. I see. It's fine. It's nice to finally know. Wonder. Oh my goodness! How much more? Hi. Hello, ladies. Well, Misha, you're looking more cheery. What? And remember, you have to take this job seriously. Too many people think you can just slack off, and that it isn't important. That is a danger. Who are we talking to? I know for a goddamn fact I can't be talking to these two in a sense of taking this job seriously.
Definitely! You can't take it too seriously. If you aren't always thinking big, thinking positive, and if you show any signs of weakness, people will start to think you're incompetent, you know. And soon you won't be able to do anything because your power is going to be delegated off to others piece by piece, and you'll be left with nothing. That's what happened last time. So, remember, it may seem like an easy job, but a lot of carnage can happen in this room. And, out of it, dealing with school staff, too. Even trying to get a budget report from a class rep can be a fight till the death. Sometimes.
Yeah, it's legit kill or be killed. There are no friends in the pits, and you take no prisoners. Are you sure about this? Is this right? You don't seem excited enough. I have to make sure it's getting through properly. Once more, with feeling, who are the poor people that we're telling this to? Oh my god, new characters! Who the Huh? Shizune twists her hands like a maestro for emphasis, visibly intimidating the two girls standing at attention in front of us. To think this all started because one of them asked if she wasn't taking her job too seriously. Hold on, like questioning, like for critique on if she wasn't taking it seriously enough herself, whoever one of these two. Or saying kinda jokingly to Shizune, because I hope you weren't saying to Shizune you aren't taking this job too seriously, are you? That's a death sentence. Do you understand? Do you understand? Pretend I'm shouting it. Aoi! It's all converging. Oh my god, why? No. Okay, Ryan. I have to slap myself. Aoi's a common name. Aoi from You and Me and Her, A Love Story did not, and I'm going to repeat this to you, Ryan, did not find her way. Even though she fucking could have. Oh my god, because she was created and sent by sent to the games through the visual novel god. I'm freaking out. You know what this is. You know what this means. You know what this is. Listen to me. I've played way too many goddamn visual novel games. Why the fuck is Emmy in Doki Doki Blue Skies? I've played way too many. I played way too many visual novels. If Eclair shows up in the next scene, I'm breaking this computer, wiping the hard drive, and I'm going off the grid. I don't have a voice for you, Aoi. What did I do for Aoi's voice in You and Me and Her, A Love Story? By the way, go watch, no, better yet, better than just go watch my playthrough of my current Season 1 playthrough of You and Me and Her, A Love Story, because that's another game that has multiple endings that I am going to have to revisit and go play again. That is on the list! Go play it yourself, because it's a fantastic mindfuck. Fuck it. Okay. The student council is so weird. I'm gonna assume Aoi has taken this form, because with a mouth open, it's speaking. Kiko? Why does that name sound familiar to me, Kiko? Have I met a Kiko? Have I met a Kiko? I'm gonna have to look back on all my shit and see if there was a Kiko. I'm gonna say that you, seemingly quiet, more passive girl, is the one just simply going, yes, sir. Sir? Who are you guys talking to anyway? It's not weird. You have to think of it as a job, if you want. Think of it like they are playing with you with the right to use this great office. Think of it like they are paying you with the right to use this great office. You want another lecture? No! You can go now. Just like that, the hour-long student council orientation is over. Personally, I thought it was about 50 minutes too long. And also found it funny that it incorporated a tour of the school that we've all been going to for a while. But I guess it didn't hurt. No, trust me on this. Like, the tour is beneficial because... Take my job, for instance, like... And it could be used in any location. So I'll say, you take my job department. Take my title. Now, I'm a security officer. I am an actual, honest-to-God, registered, licensed security officer for the state that I live in. So trust me when I say, you go through a building once or twice, you go through a building 10 times, you think you know it. You then swap over to a department like security. That building will take a whole new... Certain parts of that building start taking on different meanings. And a tour is required. I like my job way too much. I think it's starting to show. I expect she's going to fall back into her chair, since she's been on the edge all day. But she doesn't. She continues pacing the room restlessly. They still have a long way to go. Right now, they're a joke. Eh? What? They think they could be the new student council. They're so unfocused. You can really see the lack of experience. This is our best year yet. I don't think they have what it takes to be our follow-up act. And I know there are more of them than those two girls. Where are they? They're like the heavily marketed but mediocre, big-budget, critically panned sequel to the acclaimed low-budget sleeper hits. Eventually, she does stop and sit down. Are you going to miss it? Obviously.
I'd be happy if I didn't have to leave too.
Well, you know what, girls? Actually, no. Let me broaden this a little bit. You know what, Japan? High school ends. We need more slice of life beyond school. And before anyone pipes up in the comments below. Yes, I am fully aware that there is most likely a plethora. Yes, I had to sound like Porky Pig at the start of that. Yes, I'm sure there is a plethora of cartoons from Japanland that focus on just that. But please, I'm a man that is trying to separate himself further and further from cartoons. Because you can't be 32 years old watching cartoons. You can't find a good girlfriend when you put down on your resume for dating, yeah, I watch cartoons. So I don't need the list.
I like being in the student council, even if it could be tiring too.
Yeah, it's definitely tiring.
Only because Shishan is always trying to do more than she has to.
You're forgetting that if I did the bare minimum, we wouldn't do anything all year except hand out flyers, collect surveys, and plan the next student council elections, or the next student council could sit around for another year doing nothing. Asking me to let that happen? Don't be ridiculous. In a student council like that, there wouldn't even be any power to play around with. I'm just happy that, even though I clearly need to ride them harder, those two aren't bad. Not there yet, but the new student council should be in good hands. How can you tell? After the festival, they asked me if we could organize a Halloween event, like a haunted house or something along those lines. They had a bunch of other ideas as well. Well, in a school like this, let's just say there are a lot of people that'd be very good as extras to play zombies. Of course, my response was no. I had Misha tell them to do it themselves, if they wanted it so badly. They were angry for some reason. Of course they'd be angry if you said that. And Misha delivering the message wouldn't help. I was angry too. All of a sudden, they want so much. If they wanted a haunted house, or a traditional style cafe, or a trip to the beach, or whatever cliche thing, why didn't they try to organize it before? It was like they were taking advantage of me. I worked hard to organize those festivals, and in return they came to me with, that was nice, but can you do this now? How about doing this? It's what I really want.
Shishan was wrong, though.
Right. They wanted to join the student council so they could make it happen. I made them feel jealous and rile them up. You know, that can be kind of a motivation too. The desire to do something great spreads, even if it's to show me up. They decided to take me up on the challenge nonetheless. I'm impressed. Well, for now. I would have to see how it plays out a little longer in order to know for sure. She snaps her finger suddenly, which sends Misha almost bolting out of her seat. Interesting. I guess it's impossible to get used to. That's right. We were going to have a party to celebrate passing the reins to the new student council, weren't we? Why not have that now? Or at least plan it now, and have it tomorrow. But they're not even in charge yet. In fact, that's the first thing you told them. You're not in charge yet. It seems premature. Ellipses. Misha, what do you think?
I agree. It's too early. Plus, I don't think I could go anyway. Sorry. In fact, I was going to leave right now.
Why not?
No comment.
Come on, tell me.
Well, okay.
If you say you have a date. If you say you have a date, it better be our boy Kenji. That is the only way I can deem this entire saga finally complete. Way to not crack under pressure, Misha.
I thought about it, and, well, even if I didn't want to go, I would say yes, usually. It's the kind of person I am. I really should stop doing that. And this is a good place to start, I think. If it's a celebration to say goodbye, I don't want it. It would be too sad. I want to do something else instead. And after all, He-Shan, you and Shishi-Shan...
Shishi-Shan. Oh god, I'm starting to get tired and it's showing. This is what happens when I marathon visual novel playthroughs.
It will still be here tomorrow. It doesn't seem right. Besides, I have other school things I have to do today. I can't just drop them like that.
We can postpone it.
No. No early goodbyes.
She looks very firm as she says this. Aren't you going to go now, though?
Oh, that's right. Well, I hate goodbyes. But goodbye. Okay, besides now, no too early goodbyes, okay?
I get it.
Okay, later!
With that, it's just Sujune and me left alone in the student council room. Did the sun just vanish? That was a nice, smooth-looking transition. I know there are some people out there that was like, Ryan, that wasn't that impressive. Well, you know what? I'm going to give credits to the people who made it anyway. Sunset slowly changes to night as we sit in silence, both searching for something to say. Would it really be that bad? What, a goodbye party? I'd give it a few days anyway. Yeah, I didn't think about it like that, but Misha's right. Parties set a mood, and it would be a sad one. A sad party doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun. Why would it be sad? Well, I guess it's the way you present it. It seems like it's a farewell party, but really, why don't we just say it's just an early graduation party, while, you know, make promises that we're going to keep up with each other. You know what? This whole season, in case no one else really caught on, because it takes me a while to catch on to things, it's just about friendship. It's not even about love. It's just about the friends that we have. And that's why I kind of like the Shizune route. It didn't have to be. I thought it was going to, but it didn't. And it doesn't have to always be some grand dramatic thing. You know, like with Emi and getting over her deceased father. And Hanako with her obvious insecurities. Shizune's route? Yo, it's friendship, bro. It's not even so much as about too much more. It's the friends that we've had, and it's the friends that we've made, and it's just staying in touch with each other. Talking to each other. Again, it's going to say it on my fucking tombstone. Just fucking talk. If I even have a tombstone and I don't go through with my plans of burning me. Is it a trick question? I'm sure of it. Shizune's eyes pierce into mine, waiting for my answer with a detached, analytical stare that I haven't seen in a while, but it feels familiar anyway. I consider my answer carefully, but also what it means for her to ask me. It would be that Shizune finds it depressing as well, or it could be that she doesn't understand why anyone would find it depressing. Both are equally plausible. I had thought that when you graduate, that's it. It's going to be the end of student council. Yeah, I was wondering if you have the same idea. Don't be stupid. I look forward to it. I won't be a student anymore. Well, not here anyway. So the expectations are going to be completely different. People's expectations of me and my expectations about everything else. It seems exciting. As for the student council, I do smell food. There is no hope for my fat ass, I'm sorry. It should be in good enough hands. I don't have anything to be sad about. I don't think you're being honest. You looked upset about having to give the student council not even a few weeks ago. It wasn't about leaving it to a bunch of newbies either. It was having to stop doing student council work at all. Unexpectedly, Shizune smiles. So you're not disagreeing? Then it doesn't make sense. Why would you want to have a party about it? I'm trying to get over it. Besides, goodbye celebrations are very important. People say the first step is the most crucial, but following it through and finishing cleanly are just as important, right? I guess that is true. Anyway, I don't consider goodbye, but it's still an event. You should have to go through the proper motions. Aren't you going to? Aren't I going to what? Kiss me, of course. Well, oh, what? How did we get here? Look, I was just cruising along in my Crusader tank. I know I must have missed a turn over there, back there in Dunkirk. But how did I end up here? How did I end up in Spain? Did I miss a lot? What? I don't consider it goodbye, but it's still an event. You still have to go through the proper motions of goodbyes and whatnot. So aren't you going? Am I going to go through the proper motions of goodbyes, of having a party? Am I going to what? But we're here. We're here. I don't know why I said Crusader tank and started in turning off somewhere at Dunkirk and ending in Spain. Look, in the words of Alex Jones, okay. Look, I'm kind of retarded. Is that the proper motions? It would be normal, wouldn't it? The natural thing to do. It's time to act decisively. If I don't, I'm sure my heart will explode. Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are we about to enter what I think we're about to enter? And I don't just mean a vagina. Are we about to enter the honest-to-goodness last love-making scene of this entire saga? We're gonna do it in the classroom? Look, this episode's already been going on for like nearly 40 minutes for anyone who hasn't fallen asleep. And I don't feel like doing editing right now. So I think we're gonna end it there. But when we pick up, which for me, if I'm not doing anything with the guys later on Discord, it'll probably be later tonight. I think it's going to go down. So, ladies and gentlemen of that humble internet, I'm saving the game. It's saved. I want all of you guys to stay awesome out there. Adios.